Today's edition of the Fullerton Unfiltered podcast is sponsored by the Lawntrepreneur Academy, where 6 new resources are now available to help you make even more money this year. Invest in your future. Invest in yourself at thelawntrepreneur.academy.com.
You're now listening to the Fullerton Unfiltered podcast. Straightforward, no nonsense business advice. Completely unfiltered. Grow your business. Grow your life. Now, here's your host, Brian Fullerton.
Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome to another episode of the Fullerton Unfiltered podcast. It is your host, Brian Fullerton here, and good morning. Well, guys, happy New Year. Holy cow. Welcome to the jungle. It is 2022. I'm talking too loud. I'm getting the hand signals from the wife already.
Waking up the baby.
Baby is waking up. All right, so we're actually recording this podcast late night, and we're getting a good podcast out for you guys for Monday morning. What are we going to be talking about today, babe?
Goals.
Well, make it sound any less fun than that.
Goals. It's like, what was when you say words so often or so much, it doesn't sound real anymore. We've had a couple of them. Like goals today is one for me. Like,
yeah.
I feel like I'm saying it weird. Goals.
The other one was we don't own a broom.
We don't own a broom.
Yeah, we don't own a broom because I asked in the garage. I was cleaning up the garage over the weekend, and I said, "Hey, do we have a broom?" And you said, "We don't own a broom." And I said, "You sound like you're speaking a different language."
We don't own a broom.
So that's what we danced around all weekend, saying, "We don't own a broom. We don't own a broom."
Obviously, we're losing our minds over here. But goals has been something that everybody's talking about, with it being New Year's Eve or New Year's Day or whatever today is.
Yeah, I'm gonna boop.
We don't own a broom.
Well, and that's what we wanted to talk about because we actually just got done for probably a good hour setting a lot of our New Year's goals. And it's not really like resolutions necessarily. It's just kind of like realigning for the year. We do set goals once a year, like year to year. I guess we just kind of capitalize off the New Year's like festivities or expectations and celebrations. And
so we evaluate goals all the time.
All the time.
Big time ones are usually quarterly and yearly. I think people who hate on resolutions are like, it doesn't really make sense to me unless it's people who are setting resolutions that are like, I'm going to lose 300 pounds this year. Well, why did you first of all wait until New Year's Eve to lose 300 pounds?
No, for sure.
Second of all, like, that's not really like an attainable, like, I like setting goals that are actions versus like the uncontrollable. So I want to work out every day, not I want to lose 300 pounds.
Sure.
The result of that action is the 300 pounds, whatever. Anyways, but the people who hate on them, like, if you're, okay, it's a convenient time to review goals.
Yeah.
I don't understand why they get such hate. But
especially for a lot of folks because the winter's kind of slow. It's kind of quiet. The holidays, we all kind of ate too much and probably did the whole spend too much and ate too much thing.
That was such an awkward laugh. I just
maybe guilty in the laugh there. So that's what we just want to talk about for a couple of quick minutes. We're not going to come in. So last year we did a podcast episode. I think I did one talking about SMART goals, and then I think a couple of days later, a week later, we had Trisha Dork on, and she just rocked it.
She fires me up.
She just killed it. So if you guys want to go back maybe 100 episodes or so ago, 120 episodes ago, and check out the ones that we did literally same time last year, it really is the roadmap of setting goals for success. I mean, I don't want to just rehash a talk to, just to fill the content calendar. That's not what it's all about. We want to, talk about stuff that can really help you guys grow. So what I want to do is we got kind of just a bunch of notes that we both wrote down. Liz wants to talk about goals, why to set goals, who isn't setting goals, and a bunch of things. Then I also talk about so taking those SMART goals and running your dreams and goals, running your wants through those goals. That's some of the things I wrote down. So before we jump into it, I just want to say Happy New Year to everybody. Happy New Year from you, babe.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, yo.
Everything I'm saying sounds made up. Like it does.
I think to be totally fair, fair. This is what it is. It's happening. We're literally a little sleep deprived because the last 4 days. I mean, what are you doing on Instagram there and TikTok?
I have my Instagram poll that I did. So
okay.
I had it pulled up.
I was like,
not like scrolling.
It's like Brittany Allman and Caleb. Caleb is like, sorry, I just read a text, and like he's not there anymore. Brittany's like carrying his show. So, listen,
that's usually how it goes when the wives get on me.
I can't look at you because I get distracted by not only your beauty but your brains and both your brains and your beauty. So. Listen. The reason we might be a little slower in our words is because Emmy's kind of doing like the 4-month sleep regression kind of thing.
She's 5 months old like tomorrow or the next day, and we're like, oh man, we made it through 4 months, no sleep regression.
No, it's happening right now. It's a little. We put it on at about 8:30 or 9 o'clock. If you have kids, you've been here, done that. So at 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, we put her down, and then she woke up at about midnight.
She woke up at 11. For the past 3 or 4 nights, she's woken up at 11 midnight, and then
2:30,
3 o'clock, and then she normally wakes up at 5, and then again at 7.
But it's been 4:30.
It's been all over the
map.
map.
And then she goes back to sleep till about 6, and then doesn't go back to bed.
With everything said and done, though, she immediately usually goes back to bed. I nursed
Not
her.
the last couple days.
Not last night. Last night it took a good 20 minutes. I know it seems so much longer, but actually looking back at because I time everything on the app, it was only 20 minutes. I felt like I was awake for an hour then.
Oh, it's tough because we also take Ollie sleep vitamins.
Yeah, I'm not taking those tonight.
Dude, they knock me out.
I can't.
Shout out to Ollie, man. If anybody has got an Ollie hookup, let me know. Holla at your boy because we're trying to pay for a house. You know what I'm saying? Shameless plug there. You actually did a sponsored post for them for $50 or something.
Yeah, they just seeded me product, and I've been addicted ever since.
That's true. Yeah, that's how they get you, man. They're like, hey, let's get an influencer, and then
they paid me $50. I think it paid for 2 more boxes,
and then we've been hooked on them ever since. So we're minus.
Really well.
We're $100 in the hole.
So Ollie, if you're listening,
it's like all these other companies that want to get us on the subscription and stuff for $49 a month, and then they want to sponsor one YouTube video, and it's okay, but then the lines cross 18 months later, and now I'm paying for the service out of pocket. Next time we get a sponsorship, I'd be lifetime access to whatever it is, right? That's a good idea right there. Before we jump into this really quick, I'm selfishly really excited about something from Launchpreneur Academy. I just dropped 6 new resources there today. Well, maybe 2 days ago by the time you guys hear this podcast. So January 1st, and I'm really, really, really excited about them. I've been working on them since September. A couple of them through October, November. So I'm getting ready for snow. I'm getting ready for Launchpreneur Academy. And then I'm literally chiseling out these training resources and programs. I'm going to do another podcast, I think, for another day, for another time, talking about all of them in depth. But just really quick highlight, subcontractor agreement forms, landscaping bid forms. So many of you guys wanted a landscape proposal form. We now have that. You can print off 100 of them, put them in your contractor clipboard, bring them with you. Landscape change order form, employee handbook, huge addition. Employee handbook, check that out. If you have employees, you need a handbook. And we're going to talk more about that later. Employee hiring form, customer cancellation form. Maybe you got some PETA customers that you just can't really get that price to where you need to be, or they're a pain in the butt and you want to let them go easy. Customer cancellation form. And then what was the other one that we dropped? I'm thinking. We'll come back to it. But those are the new resources that we just dropped at launchpreneuracademy.com. I'm super excited about that. I've been working on those for a long, long time. So if you guys want to check them out, I would encourage you to, go to the Launchpreneur Academy, see if they're, a good fit for you. And if so, great. And if not, absolutely no big deal. But they're just something that I've been working on for a long time here. And I'm really, really, really just excited about making those resources available to you guys. So babe, you want to talk about goal setting here and get back to the topic of the show, which is setting goals and then also accomplishing goals.
Sounds good.
All right, well, take it away. What do you got? So you said you were all fired up about an hour ago because people weren't setting goals.
Well, I did a poll on Instagram, and it never occurred to me, so this time of year, everybody's talking about goals. People setting resolutions, people who set goals throughout the year, making fun of people who set resolutions.
Right.
It never even occurred to me that there's people out there who don't set goals.
Yeah.
So I did this poll on Instagram, do you make New Year's resolutions? If you answered no to the previous question, do you regularly set goals? And then if you set New Year's resolutions, would you say that you achieve the majority of those? And then if you said no, you don't make New Year resolutions, but you do set goals regularly, would you say that you achieve the majority of those? So 4 questions, talking to 2 sets of people, basically.
Okay, 2 slides. So what was the first slide again?
So the first slide was, do you set New Year's resolutions?
Okay, I'm thinking probably 75% of people set New Year's resolutions.
No, opposite. So as of right now, I only asked this 2 hours ago, but we have a decent amount of 100 couple.
We get it. You're famous on Instagram.
I know, totally. Yeah.
All 1,200 people that follow each of us.
28% of people said yes. So 72% of people said no, they don't.
78% of people don't set New Year's resolutions.
Right.
Wow.
And then if you
I thought it'd be the opposite.
I did too. Honestly, I thought more people would set New Year's resolutions.
Not even just hype train stuff, but just people in general. They're let's draw a line in the sand.
And then, so I said, if you answered no to that question, do you regularly set goals? 75% of those people said yes. And 25% of people said no. So for people who said no to setting resolutions,
At least they're setting goals?
No. 25% of people who answered no to setting resolutions also don't set goals at all. Didn't even occur to me that there's this population out there that doesn't set goals.
Your followers, man. Maybe it's your followers.
Only 25% of that.
All the ladies out there.
72%. So what is that? 72. What is 25% of 72%?
25% of 72%? Oh, at least 69%.
I don't even know. Anyways.
Dude, what do I know? What is like fractions or something? Like a reduction?
What I thought was really interesting though, and I kind of figured this would happen. I asked, if you set New Year's resolutions, would you say that you achieve the majority of those goals? 58% of people said no. Setting a goal one time a year, 58% of people said they don't achieve it.
So why do you think 58% of people that set goals don't hit them?
Well, hang on.
Wait, there's more.
I said, if you said that you don't make New Year's resolutions, but you do set goals regularly, would you say that you hit the majority of those goals? 72% of those people said yes. So you're more likely to hit goals if you're continuously resetting and setting goals throughout the year than setting them once and done.
Whoa.
72% versus 58%.
That's like hard data.
I know. And
like
I always
Instagram poll. It's very official.
I appreciate the data. Well, no, because it's like real people. Like, what is you were saying? Like 78% of all statistics are made up including this one. So like, I don't trust, fact checkers out there. So I did my own, and I found it really, really interesting. And then we've been talking about this all night. I can't get over the people who just don't set goals.
Yeah.
Period. I would rather have you set goals one time a year than to just not set them at all.
Well, I don't know. Right. I don't know how deep you want to go down the rabbit hole, but you were looking at people that voted, and then some of the people that voted no and no and no again, and you're like, and then you were ranting about who some people are, and you're like, I know this person, and
that explains a lot.
And I know exactly
as rude as that is.
You're like, I know why their life hasn't changed in a decade, and then you look over the last 9 years, and our life has changed 100%. Like, thank God, praise the Lord, hallelujah.
And I know, I want to preface this all with, I hate.
Hate's a strong word.
Hate's a big word.
Wow.
I really do strongly dislike the
light on 12 Mile Road.
I know. The boss babe, like hustle for hustle's sake culture.
Oh.
I think it's ridiculous, which brings me into my next point. Like there's that saying that we buy things we don't need with money we don't have to impress people we don't like.
Wow.
I think
you can slow down because that's a really good one.
I didn't say it.
No, I know. That's an oldie, but that's a goodie.
It's an oldie.
One more time.
We buy things we don't need with money we don't have to impress people that we don't even like. And
it's true.
Whoever said it last on stage is usually who gets the credit. I think Dave Ramsey, his name is attached to it. You can get a credit
to anybody, anywhere.
But I think we do that with goals, especially if you set goals one time a year, like that 300-pound goal, 300-pound, weight loss goal sounds so good, but what does that actually do for you? Like, instead of setting that goal, like I said, set the actionable goal to the result that you want, and then take it from there.
We talked a lot about that on the Smart podcast, the Smart Goal episode that I did a year ago.
Yeah.
Which is really good.
People will say, oh, I want to get another 100 lawn accounts this year.
Yep.
Why? What does that do for you? How about you look at your route? How about you raise a couple prices? Do less work for more money instead of getting 100 more customers. It literally makes no sense. Yeah. So evaluate why you're setting the goals. Because you know what happens a lot that we've realized? We set goals a lot. Like we probably talk about goals way too much as it is, I think, sometimes.
Yeah.
But
because we're so on it.
Clearly. We set goals, we achieve them, and then we share them with people thinking that it matters to them.
Yeah.
Even people close to us.
Yeah, not anybody listening to the show.
No. Not even in the sphere, but friends, family, whatever. And you get so worked up and you're so excited to share this goal. Well, you better make damn sure that it's a goal that means something to you, that you're not just trying to impress somebody else with. Yeah. Because it's not going to. Because you know what's going to happen when you get to that goal?
Nobody's going to care.
They're going to say you got lucky.
Yeah, and you witnessed that firsthand. We hit a huge goal that we were personally setting. A huge goal. It was revenue mile marker.
It's one of the biggest ones that we've.
Yeah, it was a revenue mile marker goal. And we hit it, and we were like, "Look at what we did with this company." And people were like, "Dude, we shared it actually in a group chat, and literally nobody cared." And we were like, we didn't even get a text for about 3 hours, which we weren't looking for like affirmation, I guess, but we were just looking for someone to be like acknowledge it. And if I would have shared that same text message to Kayla and Brittany Allman, they would have been like, "High five, awesome, go get it, guys."
I think we did, actually.
We did actually after, and they said They actually did say congratulations. I think you're right. It's just funny. I'm like, So when they always say like be careful who you share your goals with or who you share your dreams with, not everybody's out there like pulling for you or rooting for you. We are. I'll tell you what. If you guys got a goal and you need accountability to something, partner, hit me up. Like I'll shoot me a DM, shoot me an email. But just be prepared on December 30th. I'm gonna shoot you a DM back and say, hey, where you at on that goal? But again, that goes back to full circle. Why you said you don't set a goal once a year. You
reevaluate
and that goes back to like when we talk about all the time, the GPS analogy, setting the airplane from LA to New York, and why you don't check in with radio, control and radio tower, whatever it's called, once every, 6 months or once a year. You check that thing every month, if not, fly by wire, check it real time. Mm-hmm. What else you got? This is good.
Yeah,
we're not here to like drop any truth bombs. We're just kind of hanging out. These are just some fun things that we wrote down because we were realizing some things as we set goals about a couple hours ago this afternoon.
Right. I think what it all boils down to is at the end of the day, like if you picture yourself achieving that goal, and if the praise of others like matters to you when you visualize that completion, then the goal's not for you anyway. Like you should only set goals that matter to you. Like you shouldn't have anybody else's opinions, anybody else's anything like in the way of your goal setting. Like our goals today look a lot different than they did even just last year, even 36 months ago, a year ago, 2 years ago, however long 36 months is. I don't know.
3 years. I'd say they're much more mature goals.
Well, we have things on there like we want to spend 100 hours outside as a family.
Go grab our calendar really quick. Let me mute the mic. You're on mic 1 because Liz goes, am number 1, 2 is not a winner, and 3 nobody remember, because she's from Dearborn, the hood. Thanks, babe, for throwing up Nelly and your Air Force Ones. But that's what happens. They can't hear you. Maybe we'll just leave the mic muted because I don't want to lose all credibility tonight. But then again, everybody loves it when you're on the show, so maybe I'll just mute my mic instead. You're right here. We're doing this real time, guys. Hang with us. By the way, we're going to take the podcast to all new heights in 2022. So get ready. All right, you back?
Yeah.
All right. What's some of the things that we wrote down there? Hey, let me time out really quick. One thing that I said before we start a single goal this year is I want to do something very different. I've preached about it a lot. I haven't executed it once, which was schedule all of our time off as a family first.
Yeah, you talked a lot about that after coming back from Greg Woodstock, the Pond Guys.
Many a times.
Event, like 2 years ago.
2 years ago, I saw his calendar, and
we did that.
We did, yeah. Well, hold on. A month ago, not even, I went over to Greg's place again, and he's got his Aquascape Academy things going on. They're super cool. I think they're going out through March. If you guys want to check them out, go to aquascape.com or whatever. Dude, just go just to see how this guy operates. A $60 million company, but his office is wide open. You can walk in and up, up in his little office and upstairs, and he's got this cool chair, and he's the coolest, most open book kind of dude you'll ever meet. Well, I snapped a photo of his calendar, and it's this whole like, I don't know, 3 foot by 4 foot paper calendar every day for the year. And it's color coded. Like red is when he's at the facility, purple's when he's doing family stuff, green's when he's on vacation or whatever. Mm-hmm. And I just was like, you know what, dude? I need to figure out what software he uses to do that so I can like get it on a desk that I don't have. And but you know what I'm saying? Like print that out. Cause man, I love to have a CEO calendar like that, like just organized. And so I just told Liz, I said, I've heard successful people go from vacation to vacation. They go from leisure to leisure. They don't work and then try to figure out time off. They take time off to time off, and they put work in between, because if we're all workaholics like we all are, and I don't know if this helps you guys, this was just an epiphany for me, but if we're all workaholics and self-employed people, and we're always chasing things, and we're always growing, and we're always hustling, like it seems like the last thing that you always prioritize is yourself and your family. That's just true for me. I know it's a darn fact for me. Like I put myself dead last. I put my family almost second to last in the name of, hey, we're going to be rich and famous, and not famous, but you know what I'm saying? We're going to be more successful so I can get us the nicer things. And I just was realizing, I'm like, it's hard to like shift gears midway through. But for me personally, I'm like, you know what? We're starting fresh. Mm-hmm. I wouldn't really say it's a New Year's resolution. It's just something that we're recalibrating our goals.
We started working on, I would say, about a month or two ago.
Yeah, about 2 months ago.
Yeah, I think
after Launchpreneur Academy.
After Launchpreneur Academy, because it was hard. There were certain obligations that we had that
ship has already sailed.
Yeah,
it's like the nose cone coming into like the space shuttle station, and it's got to be like on like within like a millionth of a degree here. That's like landing the space shuttle here was Launchpreneur Academy, all these other things. Because if not, explosion.
Right. What brought it up though is at Together in the Trades when Caleb said, everybody brags about business
that stuck with us.
achievements or whatever, but nobody ever brags about how much time they spend with their kids or their wife or whatever the quote was. It was good. It stuck with us.
So what we basically took our priorities this last 90 days, 180 days, and we just flipped them to make this calendar.
Yeah.
Everything is different.
We've always had like family goals, but it was more like
this is a very honest podcast.
Retiring our mom or, like still monetary things. Now we have things on here like we want to do 365 days of bedtime stories.
Oh,
like simple, weird, like goals don't have to be like these magnanimous, I want to make $1 million type things. Your goals should take you a step further every single day to being the person you want to be. Whatever that looks like, whatever that embodies. And for us, that's a united like family. Like we want like good family. If you have success in business, but you're failing in your marriage or your family life, like you aren't a successful person.
These are all like from Trisha.
I think Trisha's talk.
Me too. Should I drop the bomb on him just yet about Launchpreneur Academy?
No.
Yeah. Well, we'll talk about that later.
What are you talking about?
The recording that we don't have.
Oh, no. Yeah. I thought you were talking about something else.
Oh, no. That's a whole other story for another time. Long story short, if you guys happen to notice a laptop bag that's not yours, could you please shoot me an email? Because whether it was lost or stolen, most likely lost, benefit of a doubt, our AV guy's laptop bag was yanked. It was lost. It was hopefully not stolen, but probably lost. That contained his laptop, his hard drives, and his SD cards from our event.
With all of our footage.
With all of our footage and our recordings. So when we say make sure you go to the event live so you hear the conference live, we mean it, but we were hoping to, of course, give it to all the attendees. That was one of the bonuses, was get the live event recording replay, which unfortunately we do not have at the time. And I know some people were looking to cop that, watch that in the off season. Unfortunately,
it sucks. So when we were running these events, like you don't get to just sit and like watch or take notes. No. And so you hear like snippets of this, and especially having Emmy this year, I feel like we
saw 15% of our own conference.
Yeah. And so I was looking forward to sitting down and watching it together.
We're going to watch it on TV.
Yeah, I'm really bummed about that.
So unfortunately, most likely no live event replay, unless anybody's got a duffel bag or a laptop bag out there that they recognize that's not theirs. Maybe search around just in case. What are you doing with your smoke or cough over there? Here, I'll mute your mic there, Caleb Allman.
Sorry, I was eating popcorn before this.
Well, if you need some water, you got some water behind you. But yeah, it's kind of an unfortunate thing because we're really, really looking forward to not only seeing our own event, but getting it's a bonus to all the people that attend. A lot of like conferences charge extra for it, and I really don't like that. Like you'll go to, I'm not naming names, but you go to a conference and they're like, for $49 or $99 or $299 extra, you can take the live event replay with you. And it's just like, but I already attended. Why don't I just get it for free? And I want to provide that so people can not be distracted. But so that way they can just focus on the speakers and take it all in. But anyway, still hoping that pops up anywhere. So if you guys have an extra bag or laptop bag or anything anywhere, please let us know. We would really appreciate that.
So would about 400 other people.
Yeah, no shoot. So anyway, Trisha Dork's topic.
Is this what it was on?
It was about all this stuff, basically.
Wow, okay.
Yeah. So what else did we say?
She's actually who inspired this calendar. So they have a family calendar, which is honestly the reason why we hired her as a realtor. Because I was like, dang, if she can like run a family like this, then she can definitely find us like what we were looking for.
Sure. Shout out to Trisha.
Yeah,
she listens to the show.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, now I'm nervous.
Well, that's how you work. So just like when we sign up with a sponsor or something like that, and they stick with you forever. Mm-hmm. Like we got to keep on their service. Trisha, we got her on the show, and now she listens regularly. I'm just kidding.
You should have her back on because I'm probably not going to do this any justice now.
So we need to get her back on in the next week or two. She's a butt kicker.
She has this awesome family calendar that they combine goals. So like as a family, they want to read collectively like 52 books or whatever it is, name your thing, and they work on it and chip away as a family. And at the end of the year, if they achieve their goal, like I think they went to Turks and Caicos this year as a family because they completed what they wanted to complete. This woman did 52 freaking competitions in like 40 some weeks.
Yeah.
And she I think had a broken leg. Her husband had a freaking stroke.
Where's the Turks and Caicos?
I don't know, but it sounds good, doesn't it?
Sounds like an RV park down in Alabama.
No, it's really nice.
It's a KOA in Arizona.
Nail polish by Essie. That's Turks and Caicos. It's a
closest we're gonna get. That's the closest.
It's as close as
the closest we're gonna get to the Turks and Caicos for another decade.
Anyways, so that's kind of where we got this idea from.
Launchpreneuracademy.com. Oh, we make so much less than people think. It's not even funny. So Turks and Caicos, if anybody wants to sponsor an airplane ticket, you know how they all plug their PO box. Maybe somebody will send us like a National Geographic Turks and Caicos. Maybe there's always one wealthy listener, super wealthy listener. Some of you don't know.
Sleeper.
Some sleeper. If anybody wants to just write a check, like for my house or the shop, or just send us $100,000 anonymous. I
Or some Ollies.
Some Ollie vitamins. Yeah, it can be small. Dude, it's so funny. Caleb Allman goes, hey, if you want to just write a check for the whole shop, he goes, we'll name the damn place after you. He goes, we'll give you naming rights for a year. I go, that's actually brilliant. I'm going to take up on that same offer if anybody else would like to name the Fullerton shop. Oh, maybe we can just pitch like Brylar, Brightview, and all these people. I mean, they're really good at having tons of revenue and no profit. So why not just sink $100,000 into what we do? They ran a $3 billion company. They lost like $50 million. It's not only did they bring in $3 billion in revenue.
Sounds like the U.S. government.
No, that's way worse. That's way worse. And shout out to Brightview and relax. Okay, it's a joke. But seriously, get your numbers together. Hire John Pajak. John Pajak, the turnaround coach, Pajak Consulting. Pajak's doing a really good job helping people out.
He's going to be at the Hype House this year.
Yeah, dude, that's why he's coming. I mean, he's a brilliant dude. All right, let's go back to
what are goals?
Yeah, what if John Pajak turned around Brightview? He gets I get 4% of the upside.
So what else do we have in here? We have 1,000. We want to do 1,000 hours outside.
Yeah,
as a family.
Talk about this for a quick minute because this is a really.
So there's an account 1,000 hours outside. It's like it's a thing for your kids.
Dropping bombs.
Kids don't spend enough time outside. But the principles behind it are really they could
connect with nature, be outside, connect with the
does
earth.
A lot, yeah.
It's not like a greeny, weird, whatever. It's just
whatever.
It's just really, really cool. Hey, by the way, that's a lifestyle change for us. Because we
don't go outside.
We don't go. We rarely get to go outside. Ironically enough, I'm outside all day. As soon as I get home, I'm like,
I go for walks a lot. Usually with Hetty.
But we don't do anything as a couple together. We used to ride bikes, then you got
pregnant.
Yeah, you can't ride a bike.
Riding a bike pregnant.
I should get you a radio flyer though, pull you around or something.
We got me now too.
Create 92 radio flyers.
We have 365 bedtime stories, 12 family trips.
Yeah, 12 really fun family trips. They don't have to be super expensive. We did book one or two actually that are coming up. They're a couple bucks.
I'm excited.
But we also have some through the summer, which are go to Holland, Michigan. Other ones go to Traverse City, Michigan, Bay Harbor. Just cute, fun stuff.
It should be interesting because Emmy hates her car seat right now.
Well,
I'd 100% rather fly somewhere right now with this kid than drive.
Oh yeah. After 45 minutes tops, she's thrashing.
Yeah.
Which is tough. So
she doesn't like to be contained. Okay.
I wonder where she gets that from.
Oh, yeah.
Spicy.
Church every Sunday that we are in town.
Yep.
In person.
Yep. We took a year off from going to physical church just because, the pandemic and all this other crap. Probably 18 months, really.
Our church was...
Yeah, our church was, the church we go to is... we don't have a church. Our church. Some of my extended family thinks we're going to start the next...
you're going to have a mega church.
Yeah, one day. Me and JC. That'd be so dope, dude. I would rock a mega church.
Hire Paul Jameson as our lead pastor.
That'd be awesome.
I'm not kidding.
Paul's going to start his own... I think he's starting a podcast on a Sunday podcast.
Did he?
I don't know. Am I allowed to talk about that?
Probably not.
Did he tell you? Have we actually...
yeah.
Mention that? So I don't know. Maybe look forward to that. I'm not good with secrets like that.
We have when we want to be pregnant again on here.
Sign me up for that goal. And I'm all about the action to get to the goal because I can't control the results. I can control the action. That's what I'm hearing.
The goal should be the actions, not the uncontrolled.
Yeah, I can't control. I'm uncontrollable.
Which leads me to we want to go back to our 1 night a week date nights minimum.
Yeah, we got a little lax in that in the last 3 months. Well, after Emmy was born.
Yeah.
It's just, dude.
We got our world rocked.
We totally, dude, we are this success guru people. We got rocked. I don't know. At least we're honest. We got rocked. I wouldn't change it for the world. You know what I mean? To be honest, like
no, not at all.
But it's taken us 4.5 months just to like.
There's nothing anybody could say to you to prepare you. People are like, oh, I told you so. Just you wait. And then it doesn't matter, Karen. You can be as negative as you want. Nothing could have prepared me for the first 6 weeks of having a newborn.
What's really funny, by the way, is we have a couple friend. Their baby is due in like a week, and they said they sound exactly like we did before we had our baby. We have this plan,
I'm
that
not saying
plan.
anything. I'm not going to be a wet blanket. And
No, we didn't say a damn thing.
No.
We're like, hey, you guys are going to be great.
You're awesome.
They literally, like, we're like, well, we have this person to bring that. And they do have a plan, which is better than nothing. But so did we. And maybe they're better than us, but we got hit with a 2x4.
Honestly, they would be the people that would have it all together.
Yeah, they're above average for sure. They don't, I don't say like respectfully, they don't do as much as we do, like as well. They have some really good 9-to-5s, but you know, nights and weekends, they don't hustle extra like we do. We have to just to keep up with Liz's Turks and Caicos nail addiction.
Let's see what else. We have business goals on here. So
Turks
things
and
with
Caicos.
Brian's Lawn Maintenance.
We have revenue goals for each company.
Yeah, we have content goals for each like social media channel.
Yeah, we're not going to go through
revenue,
everything, but
yeah, personal goals. Brian's not going to drink any more pop this year.
I'm done.
Which
God.
when I met you, you didn't. And then I was a waitress, and I was like, "Oh, let
You
me bring you
ruined
a Mountain."
me.
I did.
You ruined me with unlimited B-dubs and Mountain Dew.
And swearing.
Swearing. You ruined me. I didn't swear when I met you.
I know.
Well, what happened there?
I have no idea.
You cussed like a sailor, bro, when I met you.
Now you swear more than I do.
I am the Gary V of swearing.
We should probably stop swearing.
Yeah,
That should be on here
we're
too.
taking bets about Emmy's first word, and I'm sure somebody's going to shoot me an
putting it on
email.
here. No more swearing.
Yeah. Look at that. There's things I'm willing to change, things I'm not willing to change. Kids don't swear. And Paul Jameson said the other day, he goes, if you can't articulate without saying the F word, a sentence without saying the F word, then your vocabulary is not very mature. And I said, that guy is so on it, and it's true. Because he's like the top 5 podcasts are like Gary Vee, Andrew Frisella, Ed Milet. Like they all just drop the F-bomb.
Fullerton Unfiltered too, probably up there.
Well, I don't drop the F-bomb. I don't drop any of the swear words on the podcast. We keep it very clean for the family and for the kids. And I had one guy shoot me a DM the other day. He said, hey, thanks for keeping the podcast clean. He goes, I dropped like a random S-bomb a couple episodes ago. And he goes, I actually had your podcast out while I was pruning. Customer came out, was like, man, the pruning job looks really nice. And I dropped an S-bomb, and it was like in context, like it wasn't like just randomly saying it, you know. And the guy was like freaking out because of the customer. So that's why we try to, that's why I try to keep the content clean. The podcast is unfiltered. It means I get to share my thoughts, but I'm not trying to like swear and cuss up a storm.
Yeah.
Same thing on YouTube, like especially because there are a lot of kids watching.
For sure.
We try to keep that stuff clean, man. It's just like. I don't know. We're still adults, but like, keep the content as clean as possible. But anyway, maybe if we swear more, we'll get in the top 10. I don't know. Maybe that's how it works.
No, I'm okay.
I'm just kidding. All right. What else you got?
I have a list of, so we want to take 12 trips. We outlined where our trips we want to go. We have 6 of them figured out. 4 of them are booked.
4 of them already booked. We already have trips all the way from January through April, and we're not rich. They're like simple. Well, 2 of them are expensive. 2 of them are not expensive. One's a family trip. Mm-hmm. We gifted a trip to my mom for her 70th birthday.
One of them is for Together in the Trades, too.
One is Orlando. The family one was Orlando. One is Together in the Trades, which, by the way, tickets are on sale. Mm-hmm. Maybe have a goal to work on you want to just shoot them straight? Like our conversation this year is like working on us.
Sure.
Well, that's what we're trying to do. Is we spent so much time last 5 years hustling so hard that we just literally haven't seen each other very much the last 2-3 years. Not like we're maintaining, but we're not growing. And I don't want to do that again. Like I want to spend some time with you, and then add Emmy into the mix. It's been a lot. We spin a lot of plates, dude. And everybody's like, man, I want to like. I always say it, like I say like facetiously, I guess, or jokingly, like I want to have a huge YouTube channel and have like lots of people message me and be like needed and important. And that's cool. It's fun. It's cool, I guess. But man, like that time's got to come from somewhere. You know what I'm saying? That time's got to come from somewhere. And usually Liz and I both, because we both do a lot, we both get the raw end of that deal. And so we get less time with each other. And so I had heard from, who's the guy, Bill
Harvey?
No, I don't think it's Harvey. What's his
Harley?
last name? Whatever his last name. Bill Harley from Together in the Trades, but he wrote the book, His Needs, Her Needs. He said a growing relationship needs 15 to 20 hours a week, and everybody in the crowd just laughed and chuckled because it's impossible in today's culture, in today's world. And you know what? Like that was one of the exact things I measured when we were dating. Like, I didn't have any, like, I don't even know if, like, I really had a shoe-in with you. I just was like, if I can at least stick with this girl and go from a date to
a meeting from a meeting,
yeah,
which is like a business tactic.
It's a sales one. It's bam fam.
Yeah.
Book a meeting from a meeting. It's like a follow-up one from sales books. And but I was like, if I can just stick with this girl, Paul, if you're listening, that was my only.
Yeah, you never let me go without having.
I was like, hey, when we get together next,
like
when we get together next, and
which is really reassuring for me. Like, oh, he likes me.
Yeah, well, and that was so anyway, that's just something that we took our whole like priority life list, and it wasn't. Now, granted, let me I guess kind of keep it in context, right? The last 4 or 5 years, we were trying to get unbroke.
There's a season to everything, and I've always said this, like, as long as both parties are on the same page, it is okay to be unbalanced. I don't think
that's so good.
You can't. You're very limited in what you can do with a balanced life.
Yeah, no, there's no such thing as a balanced life. That is a lie. That's not a thing.
And if you do, you're not going to make a whole lot of progress any which way. You could be comfortable.
There's no such thing as a balanced life. If anybody, in my opinion, of course, but out of every success book I've ever read, including go read the One Thing book, super fantastic book, in my opinion, there's no such thing as a balanced life. If you want a balanced life, you're looking for an average life.
Well, right. That's my point. You can. That's not what we want. So we both agreed that, okay, for the next couple of years, things are going to be a little crazy.
I literally said I'm going to be on deployment.
Honestly, we both thrive off of it though too.
We do.
And learning how to juggle now with Emmy in there, like I want to make sure that we're present parents for her.
Yes.
But that doesn't mean by any means that we are slowing down. I mean, I could go through our business goal list right now, and some of those goals, if you would have told me a year ago, I'd be like, there's no way. There's no way.
But that's the point. We figure out the money piece a little bit more. It's a little bit more stable. Praise God. Thank God. Thank God the plan we've been working the last 36 months worked. We paid off $250,000 of, we had debt, we paid it off, we bought more stuff, paid it off, bought stuff, financed it, waited a year, paid it off, until we had multiples in the bank. So I think I shared this on Instagram a couple days ago, but we paid off $250,000 worth of debt. We only had 150,000, but then I bought a Tesla and the truck and just whatever. So anyway, we paid off the Tesla about 2 weeks ago. I put the lien payoff letter under the tree for you for Christmas.
It was really cool because my memory thing or whatever on Instagram,
time hop
shows you, or maybe it's Facebook. Yeah, it says like, a photo from the same time last year. We paid the Tesla off in less than a year. And so it was cool to see that memory come up and like $105,000 home, but like. It's really cool to bring a Ferrari home, but not so cool if the bank still owns it. Like people are like, you poo-poo on leases. Well, like you're doing the same thing when you buy a car and you're paying the bank for it, and then you buy a new one in 2 years. Like
and we could have kept that money in the bank, and I had a 199 loan on it. It wasn't that bad. I just
with the way that things are in the world right now, I don't think we should have liabilities financed. I don't know. Everybody has their own opinion on.
I mean, we could have kept it's very, very fickle, like finite, like 50-50, why we did or why we shouldn't have. Why we could have not, and why we did. Personally, we just wanted to. But we were right in the line 50-50. We got very, very cheap money. Well, we could have also taken the money and grow it and put it into other things. But just based on some stuff that we're doing in the next 6, 7, 8, 9 months, i.e. the house and where our goals are, we just wanted to pay off the Tesla. So I don't really care to justify it. We just paid off the Tesla. But those were all of our financial goals. We wanted to get like out of debt, put a couple $100,000 in the bank, which we did. We have, praise the Lord. What's that? Don't say that.
No, you're fine.
What did you give me a hand signal for?
I didn't.
Oh, I thought you were giving me a hand signal. Well, I'm like, I don't know. Nobody ever talks honest, like on podcasts. Everybody's so effing elusive. Mm-hmm. Like you never know what people are trying to do. And it's not in like your business to like know what other people are doing, but like.
But if you put yourself out there and like.
It's nice to know like.
Around something.
Yeah, like I just like being honest with folks. Like we've worked our butts off the last 5 years. Like crazy getting the lawn company. I have to look at the revenue goals. We're almost at 200,000 in revenue, which is insane for us for the lawn care company with a 2-man team. I'm really thankful for that. We work like 35 hours a week. It's not in the field. We put about 40, 45 hours in combined, or not combined, but into the business. Both and I, Rob and I work about 40 hours, 45 hours when you add up everything with all the office stuff and just bull crap. The media company is growing. Like we're extremely thankful, and I'm just like, you know what? I don't know if this is helping anybody out, but our goal was, I wouldn't say like downshift. It's just like, hey, let's spend some time working on us. I want to get back to like, this is just our goal. And I don't know if there's like, you work on your business, then you work on your family, then you're going to work on your kids, work with, grow family. And then like you come back in your 40s or 50s and grow the company more, or, or whatever you want to do in life, or your finances, or give back. Usually it's you're chasing significance in your 50s and legacy and stuff like that. So, significance. But for me personally, I just told Liz, I said like, I'm tired of like making money. Like, I'm still going to make it. I'm still going to hustle. I'm still going to grow. I'm still going to crush it. I'm still like ferocious like that. But I said, not at the expense. Like, if I'm going to pick family or money this year, I'm going to pick family. And I think last 3 years I picked money, and we both did. Mm-hmm. We both did. We picked finances, progression, getting out of debt, and security.
Yeah.
Was this not what we were supposed to be talking about? Am I going on a rant here?
No, you're good.
Is this helpful?
Yeah, absolutely. I think you can definitely...
I don't know where any of this came from.
I don't know. I didn't expect you to talk I don't... knowing you, though, like, you're still not going to... Like, I don't want people to hear this and think that, like, oh, Brian's lawn maintenance is...
No, dude,
like,
I'm going to crush it.
Gas.
I'm going to crush it this year.
We've just done some restructuring, and we've hired... a couple people to help us with things so that we have more time as a family.
We're delegating a bunch of crap. I'm doing a lot less. Really good podcast the other day from Kayla and Brittany Allman talking about less is more. That was like from a talk that we did together with them. We were at a conference or not a coaching call, a conference call. Brittany Allman's still trying to get a coaching call out of me. She goes, when can we do our coaching call? I'm like, your coaching call expired. She goes, you say they don't expire. I go, you guys did. They're so funny, guys. You have no idea behind the scenes. They're like really genuinely good people. Can I just write down or just read through this list really quick?
Sure. If
I can still like talk by the end of the night because I'm getting tired. I wrote set goals like you had just talked about earlier, Liz. What not to do, like everybody's gonna set all these goals of, like what they're gonna do. I've set a lot of goals like what I'm not gonna do. I'm not gonna like trade certain things for certain things.
Okay.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah. We kind of basically talked about all that for the last 20 minutes, but it's just one of those things. Like everybody's like, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do this, and I'm like, what are the things you're not gonna do anymore? I'm no longer going to like shop for food. Like it's going to be delivered.
I'm so tired of talking about what's for dinner. And we have it pretty figured out. Like we are, I think, above average on that. And I'm still so tired of it. Like I'm ready to just eat chicken and broccoli every single night. Like I'm tired of thinking about it.
That'll last a week. You know that. But these are all the things I talked on this podcast, the productivity podcast about 3 weeks ago. Yeah. I said, like, get rid of all the things you're not going to do anymore. I said, if just one thing I wrote down, I like things. I like nice things. I never had any nice things growing up. Watches, shoes, clothes, cars. Like I did want to buy some of the material stuff first. I'm sure somebody thought, you should put that in your 401k, your Roth IRA, 401. Yeah. I get it. Like we have a plan. We're working the plan just like all of y'all. But I told Liz, I said, like, I do want to buy a couple things. I said, I just want a watch or two, a car, just a couple little things. It's not like we're out there leasing a Lambo. You know what I mean? We're not stupid. And if you lease a Lambo, God bless. Like, that's cool too. Give me a shout. We'll go for a ride. But I just wrote this down. I said, how much do you need to buy this? How much do you need to buy this lifestyle? Like, it's okay to set a goal to want to buy a watch. I feel like I was talking to Owen Edema, I think it was, and we were talking about watches, and he was talking about he wants to get a couple Citizen watches, and he's got a Fossil, and a couple other watches, and whether the watch is $200, $2,000, or $20,000. Like I'm not here to impress you listening into the show, and I'm sure you guys aren't buying them to impress me, right? It goes back to something you said earlier. If you like it, buy it, but like set a goal to get it.
That's my favorite thing. Like I always go back to the same story about not buying a stupid handbag for like how many ever years?
5 years.
5 years. And the chase and like getting the handbag was more exciting than just the actual handbag. Like,
that is true.
I don't care if it's ice cream, like the reward at the end of the week for having, getting all of your workouts in. Probably shouldn't be ice cream, but we're going to go with that example.
I'll go with it.
Getting to go get the ice cream is probably more exciting than the actual ice cream. Do you know what I mean? Like the hunt to get it. I don't know. Maybe that's just me. I like being on the hunt.
I will tell you, getting a couple of the little bit nicer things this last year or two. If you're in the process of trying to get to the goal and you hear somebody say something like that, it just makes you so mad because you're like, you're full of it. But I will tell you, like, getting something nice is way less fun than actually like hustling to get something nice.
Absolutely. It feels so flat to just go and get something now. Like,
yeah. And we're not balling out of control.
No,
like,
God, no.
God, no. But like to go to, like, I set a goal to get a nice watch, and I like got to the goal financially to get it, and then I was like,
put it off.
And then I put it off for about how long?
I would say
maybe 6 months.
No, I'd say closer to a year.
Yeah, because we went in September.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was almost a year. But I had forced myself to buy the watch that I wanted to get because I had set a goal to get it, and I was like, if I don't get it, I'm kind of like robbing from the self that like hustled for 4 years to get the stupid watch. Anyway, I don't know if that helps. But anyway, if you like buying nice things, dude, buy your nice things. Just set a goal to get them, and don't like take it out of the family budget.
Right.
Nobody ever talks about buying nice things. I don't know.
That's one thing. We've never had arguments about wanting to go and buy something because we both just have the understanding of, well, it's not coming out of the family budget. Like if you want, a new gun, that's cool. Go get.
I do coaching calls
yeah, like you don't ever take it out of the family budget.
I do aerations.
Yeah,
aerations and coaching
are, like,
calls. Yeah, because I mean, like that's the stuff I can do like on my time, to make extra money outside of the core business. I wrote down budget family vacations, take some family vacations, but like take the budget the time now and budget the money now. I wrote down budget a watch. I don't know. Mom, I'm thinking of watches again lately. I don't know. I don't have any watches I'm trying to buy this year or anything like that. Budget a new car. If you want a nice car, I wrote down go get a new car, but just budget for it. Like set a goal to budget for it. It's okay. Like these are all different goals that we set in the last couple of years. Budget a new truck, budget a new mower. I put down, this is something I say 100 times, is figure out what you want and then work the plan backwards.
Right. And that's what I mean by make the action your goal.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I want to buy a purse. Okay. That means that this year I have to do X amount of sponsored posts or whatever on Instagram to get the money to do. So like my goal then is to do that. 5
extra mulch jobs.
Right.
Whatever.
Not get a purse. That's cool. Like it's not gonna, that goal doesn't mean anything. It's the actionable steps need to be your goal.
And that is still like the coolest thing to me about entrepreneurship. We talk about that all the time. Like, and we've never put down anybody with like a job or a career. Whatever. Like, frankly, sometimes it sounds very enticing and very alluring is to have a salary and $70,000, $80,000, $60,000, $100,000 a year coming in. That's, man, we were talking to a family member. They get 22 paid time off days plus weekends.
That's insane.
I go, when do you work?
That's why corporate America, it's been the most frustrating. We're trying to plan things for, Entrepreneur Academy and like all the events coming up and different things throughout the year with these companies. And
nobody answers their phone for 3 weeks.
Between Thanksgiving and New Year, it's like a 50-50 shot of whether or not somebody's going to be in the office that you need to talk to get something done.
Don't even expect it.
It's so, how do you operate? I don't understand.
I'm literally planning for September, October, November next year. And I already planned March, April.
Well, Bob's out until Christmas, and then Susie's out after that. So
3 weeks
you have to
PTO.
wait till they get back together so they can talk about it sometime in February. What?
I don't even know the last time I had 3 weeks straight off. I wouldn't even want 3 weeks straight off. The next time I get 3 weeks straight up off is when I'm like retired, okay, at like 65, and I'm gonna be like wandering on the boat marina.
I guess if you really don't like what you do, then that is how you live your life.
Yeah, but no wonder you always have to slingshot back to your 9 to 5. But any which way, my attitude, my point was, thank God for entrepreneurship, where if you want a goal, you can set a goal to go get something by just, like you said, working the plan.
That's why I think we talked about this last time I was on the podcast. How exhilarating and how like motivating and inspiring is it to know that like you completely own your life. If you aren't getting things that you want, it's completely on you. And if you're getting them, it's completely on you. Like you own.
Well, I don't like that sometimes. Because I'm that guy.
You hold the reins of this buggy in your life or your hands. Yep. Like it's all on you, and like can be an amazing, exhilarating thing, or it can be a not so exhilarating thing. But you can make a change anytime, and that's why it makes me sad for the people who set only New Year's resolutions once a year. Like, first of all, you're only setting them once. How good of a goal is it if you're only thinking about it once? And
how often does your plans change?
Right.
Here's one that I heard a long time ago, and this stuck with me for a while. And still to this day, it says, "Put your plans in sand. Make your plans in sand, and your goals in stone." Like, be concrete with your goals. Don't change them. Unless I guess unless you have to, but don't change your goals. But your plans, put your plans in sand because they're going to change 100 times between now and the goal.
I've never heard you say that. I really like that.
Well, I mean, like I say, I taught you everything I know. Or taught you everything that you know, but not everything that I know. Gotta humble the lady once in a while,
So let's talk about some, like, we're talking about actionable steps all the time. What are some things that people can do today to set goals and achieve those goals?
Well, I mean, number one, go back and listen to the Smart Goal Setting podcast. It's an acronym for strategic, measurable, attainable, reach, relatable, and they're time sensitive. I think I might have repeated one in there, but that's what it's late night here. It's SMART goals. So don't just set goals like Liz said, where you're like, I'm going to go work out and get fit.
What does that mean? What does that look like on a daily basis?
Yeah, it's arbitrary. It's elusive. There's nothing concrete. And by the way, I said this on a podcast a couple weeks ago. It's like, I'm just going to go get fit. Why? Well, because I want to be fit and healthy. So I have a 6-pack. Okay. But like, why? Well, because I want to get a date and finally get a wife and make babies. Okay. Well, that's real motivation, but like, it's the thing behind the thing. And for me this year, like, setting our goal is family. Like, why do you want to spend more time with my family? That's not the goal. The goal is I want to have a better relationship with my wife and have more joy and like build a quality bonding, relationship with my daughter and my wife again. And more so, a deeper relationship. There's nothing wrong. Like we're not like marriage counseling, just so you know what I'm saying? But like I just want to spend more time with my wife. Like I've just went so hard and I'm like, you know what? I can still go hard. We built systems.
Right.
Here's the thing.
We're like at altitude, we're solidifying, like
we've built a team, we've built systems. We're not like heroes. We're still doing a ton of work, okay, to like keep the podcast moving, the YouTube channel moving, the second channel that we're
There's
growing.
a lot of things that we're going to be taking on, but they're things together.
Yes.
Is what our focus is shifting to. Like things that that's one thing I've really missed while being pregnant and then having Emmy the last couple of months is I feel like I've been...
Even to our miscarriage a year ago. That's
honestly,
really what it's been.
Since our miscarriage...
It's been about 15, 18 months.
Looking back, that hit us so hard.
Yeah.
It hit us like harder than I thought it did when I was in it.
We went the last year just on momentum from the 2 years before.
Yeah.
But it's been I talked about it on a podcast a little while ago. There's been wins, there's been losses. And
honestly, the last 4 months, like I felt more like me the last, I'd say like month and a half, almost 2 months now.
Yeah.
But postpartum hit me hard. Rough.
Yeah.
Like I've always had anxiety and a little bit of depression and I was worried about it going into it. And this is a podcast and topic or not even related to lawn care for a whole other time. But I feel like I'm finally just like almost like waking up. Like I'm feeling creative again. Like I'm feeling good, you know? And so that's one thing that we've talked about is let's set goals and work on projects together again, because that's what I think we've been missing.
Yeah. Well, and that's also something that, I've always learned from the book. What's the book that I talk about all the time, especially when I do coaching calls, is Wild at Heart. It's, like you want to be an adventure to be on an adventure, a battle to fight, and then a beauty to rescue. And I'm like, I don't even know why I'm working so hard, like right now. Like, what's the point of working so hard? I'm like, when you're like kind of back at the train station and I forgot you on the saddle, you know what I mean? It's like, why even go so hard? And you were like, I didn't know you were even feeling like this. And I'm like, yeah. And I'm like, so what if you make $10,000, $20,000 a month, like with your lawn care company? I'm like, why am I working so hard and missing you so much? And why am I like sacrificing my health for what? And you're like, well, we don't even need all this anymore. Like, we still do. We still want to make it. But you didn't know, like, that I was like, the reason I'm working so hard is for you. And you're like, well,
but I just want to be on the adventure too.
Yeah. And I'm like, well, why don't you get back on the saddle? Let's start kicking butt. Let's help more people. Let's grow these companies. And, I think you really came around November, December again. Like you said, it's been 6-8 weeks, been kind of realigning as a couple.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you what, man, there's nothing more fun than like when your spouse, husband or wife, right, gets on the side of the cart, to the front of the cart and starts pulling with you. That's a lot of fun because you can just see like, it's like you're not being stuck in quicksand anymore. You can just see like where things are going to be going the next 12 months, and it just gets you re-excited again. Mm-hmm. That's how I feel.
I agree.
Are your eyes watery?
No.
Okay. Wow.
No.
Okay. Well, I'm really excited about crushing 2022 with you. We've had an interesting year. I'm really excited about 21 being over.
This was like
excited and like
the 2022 was a beautiful, messy, gritty, like
muscle it out kind of a year.
Muscle it out. Like we were humbled in ways that I didn't expect to be humbled. I have become more emotional than I've ever been in my entire life. Like we've definitely
been trying.
It's been trying, but like, man, did we live every minute of it?
We sure did.
Do you know what I mean? Like we were in the grit, like we were in the mess, and
we enjoyed the highs. We hated the lows. We've had, because like Together in the Trades was a high. I'm like that. I wouldn't change that event for the world. It was so much fun. Get your tickets now. but you know what I'm saying? I'm like, that week was amazing. We had so much fun, helped so many people, and everybody's just such great feedback. And then we had like other stuff, that we just lost or didn't get done or whatever, and just
There's
weather.
There's always projects that you're trying to get done. Oh man, this lawn care season was
Screw
the
the
season
actual
that
season.
never ended.
This is
like
the
it's still, I don't think
crappiest.
officially ended because I don't think we finished all of our cleanups. Did we?
No, yeah, we did. But
hallelujah. But in December?
Yeah.
When are we ever finishing cleanups in December? Oh
dude,
my
just
gosh.
the rain. This has been the toughest physical part of the year, or physical year that I can remember.
This year was rough.
I mean,
And
literally.
it just went on and on.
If you live in Michigan, dude, we just had a tough year. I mean, it's the toughest physical year I've had in at least a decade that I can remember. And so I don't know, this podcast is like a little all over the place. I feel like I'm supposed to be like the fearless leader here and be like, just come on, comrades, let's go.
Sucked.
What's that? It just feels like I'm supposed to be fired up. I'm supposed to be motivated. I'm supposed to be like kicking butt. And we are. We genuinely are excited. We're fired up, just like all of you guys. But I don't know, man. On my podcast, I always talk about like this phenomenon. To me, is like there's nobody ever talks about the middle. It's like there's always like the nobody out there. Like I was a nobody for so long. And then there's like the other end of the spectrum. It's like the Andy Frisellas and the Gary V's and like they got a $50 million, $100 million, $200 million company. And it's like, and they got it all figured out. And they'll claim that they don't either. But it's like, where's somebody in the middle that's making like $150,000, $200,000?
Right.
And it's like, and it's just like, hey, like we have marriage issues sometimes. Hey, we have relationship issues sometimes. Hey, like we don't get to the gym 5 days a week, like or ever, like, hey, we make instant mac and cheese, once in a while still, and Tombstone pizzas.
Man, what I would do for a cup of noodles.
Yeah, you were saying that earlier.
You sent a meme in the group chat with the almonds with like a lobster tail and a cup of noodles. I would kill some cup of noodles right now.
I mean, we'll negotiate and trade.
I like the shrimp. This is gross. I like the
shrimp. Mine's open right now. I'll go to Walmart
like the shrimp
right
cup
now.
Of noodles.
Shrimp cup of noodles.
With lime.
You know what's gonna happen right now?
Tapatio. Mr. Producer's going to make
Mr. Producer's going to rip you now on a new one. That guy has been doing radio for 30 years. He's got more clips and sound bites in his library, in his Rolodex, his audio Rolodex. Probably his actual physical Rolodex.
Am I saying that right?
Cup of tea.
It's the hot sauce with like the guy on it.
Well, I'm just saying, he's probably going to play some ad from like 1980
I know,
he probably voiceovered in 1980. Marty, don't kill me. All right.
Tapatio. Tapatio.
Tapatio. Isn't that a resort in Arizona?
Do you take...
Shh.
Sorry.
Your daughter is sleeping. They can't hear you now.
ASMR. It's giving my
Great. Put people to sleep on a lawnmower
ASMR.
or while they're plowing snow. Two best scenarios for somebody to fall asleep at the wheel. Stop doing that right now. What are you doing?
ASMR.
Anyways, it's not ASMR.
You take shrimp cup of noodles.
Okay,
it has
blinking.
to be a cup of noodles. It can't be the like the cube ramen.
Logan Manning, he's Earth Advocates. He's in Ohio. He goes, dude, your guys' Christmas episode was him or somebody else
Brittany
was like.
and I were talking. Brittany and I were talking yesterday, and she brought up the episode, and she was like, "It was so you guys were so fun." I was like, "I don't remember what we said."
Was it the Christmas one or the Thanksgiving one?
I don't know.
The Christmas one was funny too. Logan Manning's like, "Why?" He goes, "You guys are hilarious." I'm like, "Why? Why are you still listening to the show?"
No, cup of noodles. Tapatio.
Oh my gosh, you're seriously.
Like
I'm
half
little
a
muting
line.
Mike. Okay. Well, guys, that's what we got for today's episode of the Fullerton Unfiltered podcast before it totally goes off the end of the rails. It's like when there's like a train track and they got like the barriers there and you just keep smashing through them, but the track is like done. These are like the big barriers and you're just like full steam ahead. I'm like, but there's no bridge. The bridge is out. And you're like, let's keep going.
If you go fast enough, you'll just.
I think that's what they tried to do in Back to the Future. They had to hit 88 miles an hour and 1.1 gigawatts.
Gigawatts? You had gigolo?
What's a gigolo? You can't say that word on the podcast.
Why? It's the nice word version of pimp, isn't it? Oh wait, no, a gigolo is like a male hooker, right?
Oh my god.
Okay, stop it. Don't mute me.
My fingers hovering over the button. All right. Well, up until the last 90 seconds, we had it. Maybe not. But okay, ASMR, you're out of here. Instead of being ASMR, you're being ASS. All right. Well, hey, we're gonna buy that. What?
Did you just seriously spell a swear?
I'm an adult now. I have children. And also, my dog knows every word in the English language. So
He even knows when you spell things sometimes.
Peanut butter.
O-U-T?
Oh yeah, O-U-T-S-A-T. Yeah, he's smart, man. But anyway, we're just real life with you guys. Here's what I'll say really quick. I'm excited about crushing it in business and in life with you. For real. It's gonna be a really good year. And I hope we can look back on this podcast and be like, man,
We were really sleep deprived.
we were what?
Really sleep deprived.
Yeah, but like we're refocusing our goals together as a couple, and it really warms my heart because we just go so hard, and sometimes we just get like so lost in the groove of just working it versus like, hey, is this what we want to be doing? And so setting goals a couple times a year, I think, is a really helpful thing. And having those weekly board of directors. I mean, we talk about our goals all the time.
Yeah, one of them, our most unifying things is our vision board that we have in the kitchen.
Which we just redid.
And our goal
Thank God.
affirmation, whatever you want to call it,
Our
sheet that we read
sheet.
every single day.
Yeah, but like, it's not the same. A goal card is not the same thing as your mission.
True.
You know, and I think the mission that we've been on the last 6 to 12 months has evolved. I think our goals.
The mission for the last 6 months was survive.
Dude, you ain't kidding, bro. You ain't kidding. I'm telling you what, I'm so fired up and mad at the same time that we did not get to build our house. I'm gonna end the podcast here, but I'm come with a vengeance. I don't know.
I think we're in the middle again. We've gotten something squared away with the lawn care business. There's some other projects we want to tackle. Like we're like back in it. You know what I mean?
Well, we have to be. Yeah, absolutely. Like I thought I literally I set the goal and circumstances changed externally that I couldn't control. And so we got snubbed. And it is, and I'm not like pointing fingers at anybody. Like I even, it's not like, I mean, we even like kind of budgeted a buffer for quite a bit of money. And, but dude, now I'm like, I don't know. I'm just very like motivated and very focused on what I'm trying to
Motivated.
Oh my God. Jesus. If you listen to the Thanksgiving episode, if you guys want to if you want to think less of Liz.
If
Which
they
is
don't already, Tapatio and we don't own a broom.
We don't own a broom.
We don't own a broom.
Yeah, we've been singing that. We made a song out of that. That's what happens.
We don't own a broom.
We don't own a broom. All right. Well, because we don't own a broom. Maybe somebody will send that to P.O. Box 930233, Wixom, Michigan 4393. Of course, nobody's going to send me a check for $100,000, but they'll send me a broom. But there's always a sleeper out there. When we did Launchpreneur Academy Live 2019, there was a guy in the audience. He had like a $10 million company.
I know. After
he had just bought it.
Why are you here?
That's what I said. I said, why are you speaking?
Seriously.
He goes, well, I just bought this as an investment, and he had like a turnkey 200-person company or something like that. I'm like, Jesus. He's like, I know nothing about lawn care. He's like, I need to learn fast. I go, what are you here for? I'm like, we teach like to $500,000, $1 million mark. And he's like, he had a great time. But anyway, so I need to find that sleeper out there that can just write the check for the shop and the house. You know what I'm saying? So, all right. Until then, we're selling training programs, and I don't know. That's what we got. Actually, for real though, I really got some really cool stuff that I wanted to help you guys grow with in 2022. These are all literally resources that you guys asked for. So check them out at Entrepreneur Academy, and let me know what you guys think. All right, babe. Anything else you want to leave with these guys? But if not, we'll. Oh my God! Seriously, I cannot believe it right now. So we got Mr. Producer. It's all you, brother. Have a great night, guys. We'll see ya. Bye.
Hey, it's Marty, and not that anyone cares, but I've got a few New Year's resolutions myself. I definitely want to become a more generous person. What is it Brian often says? It's hard for somebody to put blessings into your hands if your fists are always clenched. Goal number 2 is to watch less professional wrestling and actually read more. Somebody gave me the Pumpkin Patch by Mike Michalowicz for Christmas. Looks like I'll be growing a big A pumpkin this year. Another goal is to actually grow taller. I figure if I grow taller, I'll actually look a little less chubby. I could eat less, but growing taller just seems like the way to go. Finally, I need to stop breathing hard when I walk up the stairs. Not sure how to make that change, but that's got to happen. And one more, I want to buy an NFT. I don't really know what a non-fungible token is, but getting in on Bitcoin early sure has paid great dividends. So if anybody can help me with knowledge of NFTs, hit me up. Hey, remember to support our show sponsor, Entrepreneur Academy. The link is in the notes. And because you actually listened all the way through the show today, when you use the coupon code podcast at checkout, you can save 10% on the training programs. Now, the documents and the bundles, those are not eligible for that code right now, but for the training programs, use podcast. Have a blessed day, friends. Brian will be back Wednesday morning.
Thanks for taking the time to listen to the Fullerton Unfiltered podcast with Brian Fullerton. We hope you enjoyed this production. If so, please consider leaving us a 5-star review for the show. While the techniques and ideas presented here are designed to help you grow a more successful and profitable business, no one can guarantee these results for you. We want to emphasize that entrepreneurship is not easy, and the ideas presented here are just the opinions of Brian Fullerton and his respective guests. No one can guarantee success for you. That being said, we hope the ideas presented here help you and motivate you to go on out there and crush it with your own business.
Fullerton Unfiltered Podcast.
Thanks for listening, and we hope to see you on the next episode.
This has been a Brian Fullerton and Mr. Producer production.